I'm from BrowWow, Northamptonshire, and today I'm going to show you how I do my signature brow. So my model today is Abby, and she has got lovely thick brows, and when we do them we're going to create a nice soft arch, and nothing too pointy because we don't want it to look too harsh as they are quite thick anyway. You start with your eyebrows by cleansing off the makeup that's already on there and just making sure that the whole area is nice, clean and fresh, so when you put your tint on. Now for Abby, because they're quite dark, we're just going to go with the medium brown tint by Refectocil, number 3, and I'm using it with the liquid 3%. So I'm just going to mix this in. Are ready to come off, so we use a dry cotton pad just to wipe off the excess tint. You can see here now my tinting lines and roughly where you want your eyebrow to be. So with her eyebrows now, I'm using a white pencil, and I'm going to use a spatula, a thin spatula, just to line up. So for lining up, I go from the corner of the nose through the eye and then on top of your brow bone here, and I'll draw a line on the inside of your spatula. And then for an outer line, I'll use the outside of the spatula for my outer line. So corner of the nose, through the eye to the end, and there, just on your temple is where the end of your brow should be. And then to get your middle from here, through the brow bone, through the middle of your eye, and you should be able to feel where the outer point of your brow bone is above your eye. That's where your arch should be going. So at the end of that, you take it through. You can draw a line through that just to make sure you know what you're going to wax off. So I'm just going to do the same process on the other side. Lovely. Get your brush, brush your hairs up. Right. Now, because these are so glorious, we want to keep a lot of the hair, but we also need to take these stragglers off. When I do eyebrows, I like to keep the brow curved. I don't like to keep them too pointy, just because your face, little faces don't need anything too harsh. You still want them to look really feminine and really pretty. Straight lines are not good. We're going to do a feathered approach as well on the top of the eyebrow, so I want to keep this as much as possible. So I'll draw a line on the top and I'll go down. There you go, I've got my perfect arch just there. I'm going to do the same on the other side now. So when you apply your wax, I use a really thin eyebrow spatula, and I use paper strips. Make sure you have them all to hand, because you want to be able to use them as quick as possible. So I'm using a warm wax, the Salon system one, which is a hybrid one, and it's got a very creamy, liquidy consistency. So you just pop a little bit on the end, and you start from the corner of your eyebrow and try and keep your lines as smooth as possible. If you need to go back for more wax, that's fine. Normally you can drag wax up from what you've left in the corner. But if you do need to go back a tiny little bit, you don't need very much at all. And you go back from where you started, where you left off even, sorry, and you do a lovely curve. It's fine with wax to go over. If you're not happy with a line, go over it. Do you think it's right? Because once you've waxed, you don't want to be re-waxing on the same area. Even though with some waxes you can, it's just not great for the skin overall. Right, so now we'll apply the wax. You take a paper strip, and start on the outers. Pull your skin tight. And make sure you really rub that down so all the hairs are attached to them. I use one finger here, one finger down there, and I'm just going to use a quick motion to take it out. Is that alright? Yeah. And I'll take that strip, little corner, along that hairline where you want it to be. Rub it in, because you want the hairs to grip. Grip tight, lovely. And always dab down as well, because you've got lots of little nerve endings that you're exposing and you want to make sure that they're not screaming at you. How do they feel? Yeah. They look amazing. You can already see this incredible arch there. Right, so now I'm going to do the tops of the eyebrows. I'm going to brush the hair down because I like this length on Abby's. That's lovely, and that's how we're going to create a feathered effect as well. But we don't want that getting caught up with the shape and the wax. So I'm just going to go above to do tops. And it's the same process, you start from here, from the middle, all the way along, work yourself out, and go down. Take a new strip. Outers first. Quick upward motion. The quicker you normally are, it's the least painful as well for your client. Is that okay for you? Yeah. Right, and now that we can see, I love the arches, I can see a couple of them really hairs. I'm just going to take them out because they're ruining my lines. But when you see this, actually, when you're tweezing, sometimes if you take one wrong hair out, you can ruin the whole shape. So be really careful and really selective with what you do take out here, because it could go from an awesome brow to just a really patchy brow, and that's not what you want. Right, so now I'm going to do the middle of her eyebrows. I'm going to do these nice. If you want to straight, do you? Yeah. They're nice and straight, but because we're also doing feathered, I want to keep some of the fluffy as well. Strip down the middle. Now hold and pull downwards. Nice clean line. Now we've done that part of the eyebrow, I'm going to use the GiGi wax off, and I'm just going to pop this over my shape. This helps to eradicate any wax residue that's left on, and also any tint residue that's left on as well. It likes to take it off nicely, and it is very safe to use on the skin after waxing. And also it's got a lovely coconut fragrance which your clients enjoy. I've rubbed that on. I'm going to leave that as well. I like to give it time to rest in, and then I'll take it off with a warm and wet cotton bud. I'm just going to go and get on with my other eyebrow now. Feather technique, you're basically wanting to make it look like it's been feathered hair. So you've got longer and shorter pieces within the brow at the top. It gives it more of a natural, softer look. But again, you don't want it to be all the way around, so your tails want to be neat. take this, I'm going to just push them upwards slightly and then trim round to about here. Just angle the scissors into your hair. How do I feel? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Now that you've trimmed them into shape, I'm just going to put a bit of aloe vera gel on them. You might feel a bit stingy because it's quite open still. That's why you leave it till you've finished shaping up everything on your belt. With that I'm actually going to put makeup on it afterwards. Right, just brush any orange hairs off. Yeah, nice and red. They always get red though, don't they? So I'm going to let you have a look at these. And then, yeah, come in off with it if you want. You need it. Oh, wow, lovely. Do you like them? Nice.